How much has Pep Guardiola actually changed? Never in a million years did I ever think I would see compilations of Pep Guardiola playing defensive football. The man went with a 5-5-0 against Arsenal at one point in the game. So how much has he actually changed in the recent years? We'll go back to the treble winning side in 2023. City played with a 3-2-4-1 out of position and a 4-1-4-1 in position. John Stone John Stones, Akanji Araki in the fullback positions would tuck in. Pep was a big fan of centre backs at fullback tucking into midfield, and why wouldn't he be? He got him his first Champions League with Manchester City and had trouble with them. The season after, he decided to buy Josko Gvardiol and allow Rico Lewis to start doing the inverted role more. He also sold Cancelo permanently, so it was clear he didn't want attacking fullbacks and would rather his midfielders, attackers, or wingers attack up the pitch rather than his fullbacks. They kept Edison despite the rumours of him potentially going to Saudi as well, so they were still keen on having a ball playing goalkeeper. And it actually worked quite well. But this was the season we saw some changes. City love playing Grealish or Bernardo Silva out wide, not your classic wingers who drive at people, but rather technical wingers who guaranteed you not losing the ball, as they wouldn't run at their wingers. Keep in mind, he arguably had the most skillful winger at the time, Riyad Mahrez, who he sold. In the season after the treble winning season, however, we saw the introduction of Jeremy Doku. Not your classic Guardiola winger now, was it? We're in the 2024-25 season, and City have bought Savinho, showing Pep's change and how he wants his wingers to play. Savinho and Doku are your brave direct wingers who have the pace and skill to be any fullback. And this seemed to be working well as City got off to a flying start, winning their first 4 games and drawing 1 out of the opening 5. But they then went on a winless streak of 7 games and only won 1 in 13 games. Clearly, something was up with the Manchester City players. Rodri being injured didn't help, De Bruyne's legs were also gone, and it seemed like Pep Guardiola had been figured out. They finished third this season, something Guardiola only achieved once since arriving in the Premier League, as he was pretty much guaranteed top 2. Onto the 2025-26 season. We'll start with the goalkeeper position. Manchester City bought 2 goalkeepers, who are more shot stoppers than rather ball-playing goalkeepers, Trafford and Donnarumma, especially Donnarumma, who's far from the ideal Guardiola goalkeeper we've seen in the past. Edison was also sold to Fenerbahce, and this was the first change to the Guardiola system. They went from a ball-playing goalkeeper to a shot stopper. I mean, Edison wasn't a bad shot stopper, but the difference between them two, they're complete opposites. Here's the second change in the Guardiola system, the fullback positions. Manchester City sold Walker and Akanji. They also converted Gvardiol into a centre-back this season. They bought Aït-Nouri and have allowed Nico Riley to step up in the left-back position too. This shows that Guardiola wants his fullbacks to attack up the pitch than rather tuck in. This year, he wants fullbacks who love to drive down the line, as we've seen in Nico Riley, who's been successful at it. So, one of his fullbacks at least will be attacking this year. And the final change is the build up from the back. Or you could say a slight change in the system. They still do have majority of possession in most games, but it's a different approach. They've been simple at times. We've seen in the past City love to play their triangle passes at the back. They love to build through and cut teams open. But this year, it's just Donnarumma to Haaland. And that gets the team up the pitch. We know 9 out of 10 times Haaland can flick it on or hold it up. And then City dominate the ball in the middle of the pitch. We've been seeing more long balls from them this season, but it's still tactical. They don't do it hoping they get fortunate, but rather so Haaland can hold it up and they can start passing the ball around. Obviously, they do still play out the back because you can't say Pep Guardiola's name without thinking of playing out the back. Ever since he's come to the Premier League, we've seen so many teams adopt that style. He hasn't completely lost his identity. I'd word it's rather he's adapted to the league, once again, and has become more flexible. This is what top coaches do. Guardiola last year didn't have a successful year, and his team isn't the likes of Bernardo Silva in his prime anymore, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Aguero, Edison. He can't keep playing the same system. What's wrong with me? Why can't I say my words properly? Anyways, that's the end of the video, everyone. Thank you for watching.